Hi people, it's me again, of course, as always, and as usual, Moino Ravenberg. Now, as you can tell, as always, and as usual, the video is going to be on parentage and how to deal with toxic parents, specifically the latter. Now, more than a few people in the world have had the misfortune of being born into families that are not as where everything isn't hunky dory, where things aren't a-okay. Bluntly put, a good deal of people in this world, unfortunately, are exposed to a lot of parental toxicity in any and every way, shape, and or form. But I'm specifically going to discuss parents, for example, that bring up an argument, regardless of how that argument came into being, that you owe them essentially. So their logic is they took care of you your entire life and you owe them something in the sense of paying them back in some way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to money. And then, for example, if you talk back to them in any way, shape, or form, the general consensus is going to be you're an ungrateful, spoiled brat, etc. And it just goes on like that. Now, words can't describe how offensive that is, obviously. I repeat, words can't describe how offensive that is. So, what you need to understand is that if for whatever reason you were under the impression that even in the slightest that this is true, then you're heavily mentally compromised, and that and that you're being gaslit and manipulated the hell out of, and it's highly likely that they've been doing that to you pretty much your entire childhood. Okay, provided that you're at best an adolescent, but even if you're an adult, honestly, and you still interact with your parents and whatnot, don't let them tell you this bullshit. And it's one hell of a huge red flag. It's like an old Soviet Union flag telling you to stay the hell away at any means, by any means necessary, and at any cost. In essence, okay, you don't owe your parents or anyone anything. You don't owe anyone anything. Your parents by default made this decision to have you. You didn't choose to be born. You didn't come falling out of the sky and ended up in their lap, or came to their house as an orphan and said, please, please, sir and madam, take care of me, blah blah blah, etc., etc. No, they made the willing decision, even if you were unplanned, to have you. Doesn't matter the who, the where, the what, the why, and the how. Point in case is that they made the decision, the active decision to have you. Therefore, their minimal duty towards you as a parent is to provide you with, at the very least, the basic of life necessities, okay, to the best of their ability. If they were unable to do so, or they had doubts at any given point in time, then they shouldn't have had you to begin with, plain and simple. But their bluntly put fuck up, okay, their lack of being able to make clear-cut decisions in life, and their stupidity and every other thing that they're lacking in the way of virtue, is not, nor should it be, your problem. So if your parents ever told you something like this, you're more than welcome to show them this video. And to the parents that have the audacity to say this to the children, I would say that you're full of shit, and you shouldn't even go near children, let alone have any of your own, with an attitude like that. This, unfortunately, is quite common in the third world, where, but again, it's simply a form of gaslighting and manipulation, where parents will tell their children that, hey, especially if it's, for example, something regarding money, a child essentially starts to work 16 years old, 18 years old, and then the parents hound that kid for money. And for example, if you as the child in question don't want to give your parents money, then you'll hear that, hey, you owe it to us for us raising you for all these years, etc. You don't owe them shit, end of story. And they're not entitled to anything. Okay, quite the opposite. With an attitude like that, I'm already seeing myself, if I had children, asking my children money. No, no. If my children want to contribute to the household in any meaningful way, that's on them. But it is my duty, my minimal basic duty as a parent, to provide for my children. But again, usually these households aren't exactly filled with people. They're filled with human vermin more often than not. Okay, with in some cases only the children being the exception, in the sense that they're actual people, as opposed to the deadbeat crack whore type of parents that they have, that they came out of, unfortunately, so to speak. So yeah, that's simply food for thought. If you happen to find yourself in this position, then I would strongly recommend that if you're not of legal age already, um, if you're not of legal age already, wait until you're of legal age and minimize contact with your parents and keep everything I said in mind. And then the second you're of legal age, move the hell out. It doesn't matter how hard it is, how difficult it is, how this it is. No. Move out and at the very least, minimize contact with your parents. At best, I would say just bluntly, outright disown them. Tell them to fuck off, take a hike, and everything and anything else in between. You don't need toxic individuals like that in your life, not to mention it coming from a place where you least expect it to come from, conventionally speaking, such as your family. Bye bye.